Have you ever felt like something isn't quite right with the world? Like you're awake, but surrounded by people who are sleepwalking? You see the patterns, the manipulation, the repetition, and you can't help but ask, is this real freedom, or just the illusion of it?
The cage you can't see is the one you'll never escape.
Welcome to the Matrix. No, not the movie. The mindset. The invisible system that shapes how you think, what you believe, what you value. It doesn't chain your body. It chains your perception. It teaches you what to want, what to fear, and who to trust, until you mistake programming for purpose. Every society builds its version of the Matrix. It's not science fiction, it's social engineering. Schools that teach obedience, not curiosity. Media that fuels outrage, not awareness. Systems that reward compliance, not thought. It's not that you're powerless, it's that you're kept distracted.
They don't need to cage your body if they can occupy your mind.
And here's the truth. Knowledge is the one thing they can't fully control, because real knowledge doesn't just inform you, it transforms you. Knowledge breaks illusions. It rewires perception. It reveals how deep the conditioning goes. But here's the catch. Most people don't want that kind of knowledge. It's uncomfortable. It shatters the safety of ignorance. Once you start seeing the strings, you can't pretend they're not there. You begin questioning everything. Your job, your politics, your beliefs, even your desires. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." The Stoics understood the Matrix long before it had a name. They knew that freedom begins not by changing the world, but by changing how you see it.
So ask yourself, who programmed the beliefs you live by? Who taught you what success means, what failure looks like, what's possible for you? How much of your life is actually yours, and how much is imitation?
The Matrix thrives on confusion. It feeds on compliance. The less you question, the more you consume. It wants you scrolling instead of thinking, reacting instead of reflecting, buying instead of becoming. But knowledge cuts through the fog. Knowledge creates pattern recognition. You begin to see the same emotional levers being pulled. Fear, division, outrage, distraction. You start to notice who profits from your confusion. And once you see that, the spell starts to break.
Awareness is the virus they can't contain.
The Stoics taught this thousands of years ago. Freedom is internal. Epictetus said, "Only the educated are free." Not educated in the sense of degrees or institutions, but educated in the art of seeing, of understanding cause and effect, truth and illusion, self and system. Because once you start seeing clearly, you stop obeying blindly. You no longer react to every headline. You no longer chase every trend. You no longer live for their validation. You start thinking for yourself. And that's what makes you dangerous to any system built on obedience.
That's why knowledge is your weapon. Not just facts, wisdom, perspective, philosophy, critical thought. The ability to pause, to question, to observe instead of absorb. Because when you learn to pause before reacting, you become immune to manipulation.
This is how you escape the matrix, not by fighting it head-on, but by outgrowing it. When your mind becomes disciplined, calm, and sovereign, the system loses its grip. It can still shout, but it can't control you. It can still distract, but it can't direct you. You become, in every sense of the word, ungovernable.
They can control the masses, they can't control the mindful.
And let's be honest, this journey isn't easy. Once you start to wake up, you'll feel alone at first. You'll see things others can't yet see. You'll feel disconnected from conversations that once thrilled you. You'll realize how much of society runs on noise, but stay with it, because clarity is the price of freedom, and it's worth every moment of discomfort. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone is able to show me I am wrong, I will change my opinion, for truth is my only concern." That's the essence of knowledge, to seek truth, even when it hurts, to trade comfort for clarity. And once you've seen the truth, your mission is not to shame the sleepers, but to embody the awakened, to live differently, to think deeply, to question endlessly, to remind others, through calm, not conflict, that freedom is an inside job.
So when you feel trapped by systems, by noise, by manipulation, remember this: your mind is the last frontier of freedom. Guard it, feed it, train it, because the more you know, the less they own.
Knowledge is not power. Awareness is.
Freedom isn't granted by governments, companies, or leaders. It's reclaimed through wisdom, attention, and self-mastery. So read deeply, think slowly, question everything, because the moment you start understanding the world instead of absorbing it, you've already escaped. Subscribe, share, and hit the notification for the next episode. Thanks for being here with the Stoic Quotient, where ancient strength meets modern life.